everyone, I'm Leah Rodenberg, Commission Chair with Volunteer Iowa. Welcome to the 2021 Virtual Governor's Volunteer Awards. We are so excited to welcome awardees, nominees, family, and friends for this year's special recognition event. We hope you've enjoyed the slideshow highlighting some of the amazing people we're honoring this year. While this ceremony is a bit different, we are thrilled to be able to recognize so many hardworking and dedicated volunteers today. At Volunteer Iowa, we say volunteering improves lives and strengthens communities, and this group of awardees is a shining example of our vision of service. As volunteers, you lifted up your communities and our state during one of the most difficult times we've seen. We thank you for your dedication and service through the pandemic, the derecho, and beyond. And now it is my privilege to introduce our governor, the Honorable Kim Reynolds, to kick off the awards. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the 37th Annual Iowa Governor's Volunteer Awards, honoring 2020 and 2021 awardees. It's always a privilege to recognize the service of Iowans, but this year's celebration is especially significant because it comes in the wake of one of the most difficult times in Iowa's history. We faced not one, but two far-reaching crises, and each of you answered the call to serve when it was needed the most. As we continue to recover from the pandemic and the derecho, it is truly an honor to celebrate that selfless dedication to service. I'm here first and foremost to express my sincere gratitude to each of you on behalf of all Iowans. I'm amazed at the creativity and the perseverance this year's awardees have shown in their volunteer work. Through periods of isolation and uncertainty, you found innovative ways to support and to sustain one another. You donated and delivered food, PPE, and essential supplies to the most vulnerable Iowans. You shared vaccination information online, and you even found ways to conduct vital fundraisers, community meetings, and mentoring virtually. You cleaned highways and tree-damaged streets and homes, and you provided shelter, services, and education to our seniors and our children. In other words, even the worst disasters couldn't stop you from showing up to hospitals and clinics, to schools, food banks, homes, libraries, and community centers. Despite the toughest of times, each of you dedicated yourselves to something greater and growing and strengthening your commitment to your neighbors and our state. And that spirit of service is what we cherish most in Iowans and what we're here to celebrate today. By volunteering, you've contributed to a healthier, more resilient Iowa, and we are grateful and will feel your impact for years to come. You know, this year marks nearly 40 years of these ceremonies in Iowa, and today we're recognizing nearly 800 individuals and organizations who were nominated by their communities for their exemplary service in every corner of the state. And that's over 250 cities and towns. We're also recognizing several organizations and individuals who served their communities from 5 to 40 years for an incredible combined total of 2,989 years. And finally, a special thank you to all of the nominators and area coordinators who took the time to acknowledge the volunteers in their community. This ceremony, it absolutely could not happen without you. So my heartfelt congratulations and gratitude to all of the awardees. You've earned it this year like never before.
Welcome and congratulations to all awardees, nominators, and friends and family here today. I want to echo Leah's and Governor Reynolds' comments and extend my most sincere gratitude for the incredible service that we've seen from Iowans these past few years. You've shown us the best of yourselves in this state. As part of this administration's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, I served as chair of the Feeding Iowans Task Force, where we saw the impact of volunteers every day across this state, stocking pantries, packaging and delivering meals and emergency supplies, harvesting and rescuing healthy food for donation, recruiting more volunteers and vital donations, and more. We heard from so many nominators about volunteers who never faltered, who kept showing up, often multiple times a week, to ensure families were fed, animals cared for, and that Iowans got the help they needed. I want to take this opportunity to extend my gratitude to all the volunteers who stepped up and adapted their service to meet the needs of Iowans over the past year. You've made a difference in your organization, in your greater community, and across this state, and it's a privilege to be able to recognize you today. It's my honor to present the awardees by region for this year's ceremonies. This is one of the few times in the history of the Governor's Volunteer Awards that we're able to recognize awardees all in one ceremony. As the Governor said, nearly 800 individuals and groups. We wish we could be with you all and thank you in person, but we do appreciate the unique opportunity to recognize each of you today. For the first time, we'll be hearing from different speakers here in a minute about the unique service regions across the state, after which we'll present the awardees for each region. So without further ado, let's hear more from each of our regions about the amazing service that we're recognizing here today.
Hello, I'm Beth Malicki from KCRG TV9 serving Eastern Iowa. To all of you recipients of the 2021 Governor's Volunteer Awards, congratulations. This last year, you really stepped up in ways that so many didn't or couldn't, and that made all the difference. I imagine many of you could have said, no, not this year, not this time. Let the call just go to voicemail unreturned, stop checking email, crawl back under the covers and refuse to figure out Zoom, or how to sew a mask yourself, or wield a chainsaw after the storm unlike any other. It's almost hard to fathom all we have faced, and it's inspiring to see all of you who overcame the unimaginable. And yet you did it without compensation. I bet many times without appreciation. Your altruism can lead to lonely, even frustrating moments. But the payoff, the real check, is no check at all. It's in the neighbor who got a meal when she didn't have electricity for 10 days. It's the older stranger who might have missed meals for months if not for your efforts. It's the animals who would have languished and suffered had you not stepped up. Well, whether you volunteer with a charity or a faith group or support government groups with your time, you all share something. Your life is richer. You've gained insight and understanding about people and systems in your community. And in turn, you changed. Hopelessness and cynicism cannot take root, for you've seen how others can change and improve. You've learned how complex poverty is, how much a natural disaster damages more than trees and roofs. It steals a sense of safety. How a pandemic can sow misinformation, but nothing is as powerful as the truth and love. How kindness, food, and support can not just change a current condition, but the future. The more you volunteered, the more you changed as well, all for the better. And while you didn't ask for today's award and acknowledgement, you deserve this and more. Iowa is better, safer, and happier because of you. Because you rose with the sun or stayed up until PM turned into AM to make sure the work got done. You found a way to collaborate when we couldn't be within 6 feet of each other. And maybe you too had derecho damage, but you still left your dark home to make sure someone else felt the light of hope. I'm going to ask you to do something. Shout your acknowledgement from the rooftops, which these days means post it on social media. Let fellow Iowans and beyond know that you received this honor. You deserve the gratitude, and the entity you volunteer for will also receive some much needed attention and accolades. I knew I'd convince you if I mentioned those others. But know this, your selflessness deserves a standing ovation. From all of us at KCRG TV9 and beyond, thank you. And I want to say a special thanks to Kathy Wakehoff as she retires. She helped coordinate the Governor's Volunteer Awards for the Eastern Iowa region for a decade and was diligent and effective to the point we're a little worried about next year. She has served on multiple boards to support literacy, harnessing the power of retired Rockwell employees and helping those with a cancer diagnosis hold on to hope. And her family at College Community School District, where she led with her heart and moved mountains with her mind, are so proud of her legacy. Congratulations on many jobs well done, Kathy.
And now presenting the 2020 and 2021 awardees for East Central Iowa.
Hi, my name is Cherian Koshy, and I'm the incoming chair of Volunteer Iowa. Thank you so much for being part of this ceremony as we recognize all the deserving group and individual awardees. As we bring the ceremony to a close, we again extend our sincere thanks. We celebrate your service and what it has given back to all of us: resilience, strength, and connection through an incredibly difficult year. As the incoming chair of Volunteer Iowa, I hope to continue to extend this tradition of volunteerism that makes Iowa such a great place to live, work, and play. To this exceptional group of awardees, thank you again for your service.